Good evening, everybody. I said, fuck it. Let's do it a little bit early, right? 13 seconds early.
Yeah.
Welcome to DPF On Tap, Season 3, Episode 20. We're calling it Beards, Brews, and Barbecue because we got a guest star on today. We'll get to him in a quick second. Let's pay some bills first. Number one, if you're out and about in the Philly area, go to Conshohocken Brewing. Conshohocken Brewing has beers like, is that LA and Fransky you got here?
Yeah. Yep.
LA and Fransky.
One of my favorite.
What was the one, the sherbet one?
Oh my God. Bassett's ice cream.
Bassett's
with
cream.
strawberry.
You can always go in the Wayback Machine and grab something from Christmas to clear out your fridge. Oh yeah, 9%er. Gotta love that.
Here we go.
So check out Conshohocken Brewing, guys, when you're out and about. Second place is Flying Fish. So I know I tell this story, but I don't know if everyone's heard it. The High Hopes is one of my favorites. But if you're in the Marlton area in New Jersey, that's where their brewery is. And if you take the tour and you happen to ask, 15 to 100 questions, they may continuously fill your beer as the brewmaster answers these questions that you have, such as what hops do you use in that? Or what is the fermentation process? Or if you need anything else, use ChatGPT. But remember, Flying Fish Brewery. Check those guys out. And as always, guys, we're wearing first time, all time, in almost 100 episodes, two of us are wearing the same shirt tonight, which is, I guess, statistically accurate. But if you go to drunkphilsfans.com, you can get some merch. We've got all kinds of T-shirts, sweatshirts, tank tops, shorts, shoes. The shoes are super comfortable. They're like Hey Dudes. I got a pair of those. Tumblers. We have wine tumbler now, right? All kinds of stuff. So
beer pong balls and calling out Butcher. Butcher's wearing the original 2010 Drunk Phil's Fans, the first shirt. We're thinking about bringing out like an OG logo or an OG line. So Butch, I love seeing that. Yeah,
absolutely. I like the original.
So check us out, drunkphilsfans.com. So hey, let's get to our guest. So if I can find it, I got a pretty cool intro for him. So this is Mark. Mark is from Beards, Brews, and Barbecue. So Philly's got cheesesteaks, Grady's sports fans, and today Mark from Beards, Brews, and Barbecues. He's the bearded pitmaster who grills like Myron Mixon's long-lost cousin and pours a brew smoother than Broad Street traffic after an Eagles win. Whether he's smoking ribs in the rain or dropping brisket wisdom with a side of sarcasm, Mark brings the kind of flavor that makes South Street stop and stare. Crack open a cold one. It's barbecue time, Philly style, with Mark from Beards, Brews, and Barbecues. And Mark, so welcome, my friend, to the show.
That is the greatest intro I've ever received. That's like the Nathan's hot dog intro that I've been dreaming of. I loved it.
I'm glad we could. I'm glad that's a very low bar, so I'm glad we could achieve it. But I'm super into barbecue, and so we're gonna start there. Okay. I was fortunate enough to go to Myron Mixon's home in his compound and do a 3-day barbecue class with a couple of friends. And I think maybe the first thing I'd love to get into with you is, what's your favorite style? Are you like a charcoal, a pellet grill, a gas? And then are you hot and fast, low and slow? Like, tell us, give us a little wisdom there.
Well, I think when we think barbecue, I think, first of all, I think you need to say that wood, charcoal, gas, they're all ingredients. They're all add some sort of flavor profile to everything you're going to cook. And you know that obviously through Myron. If you cook with hickory or apple or mesquite or whatever wood you're using, that's going to add a separate flavor to everything. So I don't really have necessarily I like wood fire, but I think it depends on what you're cooking. I think you can do anything with wood fire. It just depends on what it is and what you prefer and your time. I think that's another thing. I think people kind of forget, like, sometimes burgers are okay. And they don't have to be a smoked burger that takes 225 at 3 hours with sometimes you just need to fire up a griddle or a regular grill and do your smash burgers in 10 minutes because that's the time you have. So depends on what you're doing.
Cool, man. I personally have a Traeger, and I came from an offset stick smoker. And so, to your point, I would babysit this thing when it's 9 degrees out with, I don't know, 12 to 18 beers. And my wife is like, listen, happy Father's Day. You can now control this thing from your cell phone, which allows a little bit of flexibility. You could even track it when you're not at home. And so that's what I like about the Traeger pellet grill that I have.
I love my Traeger, man. I love it.
You got one too.
I have a Traeger. I have a Pro 780. I got it about 2 years ago.
Same exact one I have. That's fine.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I think I'm 4 years ago now, but same model.
Yeah.
I think you guys just became friends.
I think we did. You want to build bunk beds? I'm good with a bunk bed.
Absolutely. Can I play your drum set?
Probably.
So I have a favorite cut of meat that I like to prepare, and I was just wondering if there's something that, if you're going, on a long burn, something that you like to do.
I love brisket. I mean, I think everybody loves brisket. I think brisket is kind of the generic answer. I like doing, and you're gonna think I'm nuts. I like pork belly or a pork butt. I like pork belly. I'm a big pork belly guy, man. Especially if you cook that thing brisket style. Like, people sleep on that. That one, I'll tell you what. And again, I'm a big. You'll see with my page. Like, it's one of those things. I like to do things as affordable as humanly possible. There is nothing wrong with smoking a chuck roast. Nothing. You can get a real good yield off that. You may not have 15 pounds of leftovers, but no trim involved. It'll serve. You get a 3-pounder, you can serve 3 to 4 people easy, with leftovers. I think I think probably a chuck roast, honestly. I think it's kind of a whatever answer, but yeah, I mean, it's affordability and I think it works for everybody, but secretly probably pork belly.
So I have 3 pork bellies self-curing in my refrigerator as we speak. So we are definitely friends now.
Yes.
Couple of things that I like to use, ingredient wise, like injections and rubs, anything that you lean towards?
Salt, pepper, garlic. I'm a big, now, obviously if I'm doing pork butts or something different, but if I'm just doing meat, just give me a salt, pepper, garlic. I'm not a big injection guy myself. I like letting meat talk. Now I understand why you inject and I understand, but I'm just a big salt, pepper, garlic. Let's not complicate things. Might get something else out of a binder. Have you ever heard of the W sauce by chance by Baron Burton?
Vaguely.
Get yourself a bottle. I'm telling you, that is a different Worcestershire sauce. It is
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, it's fire, man. It is. I love Baron Burton W sauce. Write that down or just rewatch this. But I'm a big fan of it as a binder. It will add another layer of flavor. Most binders won't. Another one. I'm a big mayo on my brisket guy as a binder. I love using mayonnaise. I like mayonnaise and everything bagel seasoning on a brisket.
We've got a lot of comments already, so I want to, we're talking about meat and injecting meat and slapping meat around. So obviously, all of our friends are so our guys from Philly, from Broken Bell are my man knows his meat, clearly. Our boy Boise's I'm definitely an injection guy after a good rub. I mean, this stuff writes itself. There are some actually proper ones. So Harry has a Pit Boss 1150.
Solid.
Harry, we'll bring you over to the Traeger side. Don't worry.
The Weather Center is Texas barbecue is barbecue. Everything else isn't. And this is I love this idea, but what I would say to this personally is I don't give a shit if you drink Miller Lite beer or the top craft beer. I don't know. Do what you want. To me, barbecue could be anything, right? Texas, St. Louis. I don't know. There's Shamokin. There's Philadelphia. There's Pittsburgh.
Smoking barbecue. Cool. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love all those comments. There's some other good ones in there too. We might get to in a little bit, but I just a couple of more things, and then I'll send it over to the beer guy. But I remember I've had horrible flashbacks to a time where a brisket took me way, way, way too long, and a lot of folks were like wanting to eat. And so I was wondering if you ever had a brisket or a barbecue fail that stuck out in your mind.
I've had tons. I think anybody that says they haven't is a liar, and they're perfect for social. Like everybody has failed. My first ever one on my first, I think it was like the Pro or the 575. I got it during COVID, and I made wings, and I ended up with a McRib later. Like that's literally what, like seriously. Like I'm like, how long do you? Because in my brain, I'm not thinking like, well, 225. Everybody says 225 raw. I screwed up chicken. Chicken is the one that like it's so difficult to me that I think I've bombed the most on. Brisket, I've been pretty successful. Pulled pork, kill that, but I don't think that's as hard. That's not that difficult. Like that actually will cook itself really. But real chicken is the one thing that I have just murdered at times where I'm like, oh, this is dry as shit. So I'm never doing a breast again ever. I don't want to. It's thighs. It's thigh meat. It's forgiving. If I drink too many beers and I forget it was on, fine, done. I'm cool.
Very cool. Last one for me.
Yeah.
You know, clearly I'm a Myron Mixon guy. Is there someone that you follow and or have acquired some, different techniques from as far as, famous pit masters?
I'm a Matt Pittman guy, but I'm also a Kent Rollins guy. Like I do enjoy what Matt Pittman does. But for some reason, Kent Rollins, that like outdoor cooking, you know who I'm talking about? Old guy, cowboy hat. Kent Rollins seems like just a dude that's going to pour me way too much whiskey that he probably made himself. And I'm just going to have the meat sweats and we're going to eat beans out of like a crock in the middle of the desert. Like I don't know what it is with that guy, but I like that dude a lot. I just like his style.
Very cool. Hey, man, I could do this for like seriously another couple hours, but I'm going to kick it over to Chris for some beer talk.
Yeah, so I'm just going to hit up some more comments since you're on. So Boise wants to just say, thank God Mike's back. Boise's not a big fan of Chris Dugan, so he's happy that Dugan's on vacation. And he actually just texted me, Boise did, and said he hopes he's on permanent vacation. So I thought that was a little harsh, Boise, but
good feedback. Thanks, Boise.
Yeah, that's still feedback. There is, when we're kind of talking about, rubbing meat and breasts, Zuckerberg is going to lose his goddamn mind. And Zilla pulled this out because Zuckerberg has a fucking eye on us, man.
He does.
So this is a great comment. And, Mark, I want to kind of talk about some beer stuff with you. What is your favorite, style and like, and why? Like, what do you like about that style? Like, not the particular beer yet, but your style overall.
I drink a lot of hazies, but unfortunately, that's where the market has lent itself. I love a good hazy. However, I am a barley wine guy. You give me a good barley wine, and I am as happy as a clam. You're talking 12, 13, 14, 15%. It warms the bones. Nice caramel toffee notes. I lean toward Belgians, barley wine. Like I prefer that heavier, darker beer. It's just unfortunate. And Mike, I think it's awesome that you're sitting here drinking a stout or a porter on because nobody drinks them anymore. Like nobody, like it's just one of those things. So yeah, you're gonna see a lot of hazies on my page because that's kind of where the market is. I'll drink anything within, but enjoyable.
One of us.
Yeah, right. But I'm a barley wine guy. It's not a style that people do too much anymore.
So, Mark, I'll tell you something. On Black Friday, when the wives or girlfriends go out, Mike, I, and a few other people go to Black Friday for beer drinkers.
Yeah.
And one place we went to, Mike, was it 12 different barley wines that we drank?
Yes.
Mark, I know that this might be a trip for you, but you have to consider going to this because it's outrageous. 12 barley wines, and there was like 3 of us that were kind of sharing them. It was, COVID wouldn't have liked this bullshit that we were doing. We were like,
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So I want to ask this question. You like different beers and the hazy is your style, but like what's your go-to, I guess, domestic large brands, and what is like your other local brand that you would just get? So if you're going to W&S,
Yeah.
Craig.
Craig. I guess I don't know if I want to call it a large brand, but I feel like at this point it's a large brand. Is Trogs. I am a Trogs guy. I love Trogs. I mean, I have a hard time drinking Miller Lights and stuff like that. I'll drink the garage beers. Not trying to sound beer bougie at this point, but like I do. I just like the full flavored beer. I'm a Trogs guy through and through. If I was going to say another one that's a little bit smaller, I do enjoy Evergreen a lot out in Camp Hill. I do like New Trail out of Williamsport. There's a few. God, I'm probably missing some. I have so many beers in my brain. I have no idea. I do like Other Half. Now, I know they have a Philadelphia. I'm a huge Other Half guy. I will put Other Half up there. I'm not saying it's necessarily Treehouse out in Massachusetts, but I think Other Half, for my taste and what it feels like to drink that beer, that's kind of my thing. I do like Other Half.
Okay. And, the final question to bring Mike's segment and mine together, like, what is your ideal beer and barbecue these match? Like, when I do this, I need this specific beer.
I like a lollipop from Trogs when I'm eating seafood. I don't know why. It's just I feel like everything matches. You guys can't see it. I have Trogs artwork with food that pairs with their beers. Like, it's literally all over my dining room. I don't have a real dining room. I have a tap house. So yeah, like that's. But yeah, I like dark beers with meat, and I like a hazies with my seafood.
Cool. Yeah, Rob, I'm going to pass it on to the obvious, next segment, beards, because Rob's beard is,
Well, yeah, I'm not really sporting it too much. I had a cancer removed, so I had to shave.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'm just bringing the mood up for everybody. It's gone, so don't worry about it.
okay.
But like my question is, my first question is like, well, we were talking about this before we started, and it was how long have you been growing your beard? So let's just go back. What's the longest you've ever grown a beard out?
I think 18 months, and it got to about like here, like we were down pretty low.
Okay.
And that was during COVID.
What was the reaction on the street with that?
I think a lot of people were surprised. People didn't see me for a while. Obviously, COVID. The only people that saw me were my coworkers because I had to work.
Fair.
My wife wasn't a huge fan of it, to be honest with you. My wife hates my beard. She would rather me more like Chris, like in that realm, like the stubble type look. But I think when people first saw me, they just didn't know, but they liked it. It kind of looked like Opie from Sons of Anarchy. That's kind of where it was at.
Mine's different, Mark. My wife's like, if you ever get rid of that beard, we're dong. It has to be something. And I'm like, I understand I'm not a handsome man and I got to hide some features and things. So
Yeah, right.
Same, brother. Same.
Well, I think all us ugly guys made beards popular at this point. Years ago, I had a goatee that was about this long and real wide, and it was red and yellow and like white, and it was all these different colors. My wife has explicitly told me that if I ever try to grow that back, there will be problems in the marriage.
I get it. I respect it. I get it.
Yeah. So as far as like beard care goes, are you kind of lazy and just let it go, or are you using product?
No, I'm an oil. I'm a shower, beard conditioner, sometimes like a light wash conditioner. Then it's an oil, brush my oil in, then it's a balm because again, I get beard dandruff, but again, I also try to use like affordable products too, because that gets pricey. So and when I did have it long, I had a straightener. I would straighten the thing and yes.
Okay. That's going further than I would have. But is there like a favorite brand or, like you said, oil, is there one that you go to that's affordable, but also effective?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to with what we do with the small businesses. I would like to try more beard oils. It's hard. There is a beer one that I used to promote called Trapline. I forget where he's out of. But
he's in North Dakota. I'm all over Trapline. Right. I love this dude's stuff. You gotta get Trapline. They got body wash. It's fucking awesome.
And it is affordable. Like you're talking like $9. Yes. You can get up to $30, $40, $50 for a 1 ounce jar of oil. He's very affordable. His scents are good. The beard balm is good. I use it every day. That's literally what I've been using now for months.
And Mark,
So-
if you wash less, I do it probably like once a week. Like this
Yeah.
stuff could last you all year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And what is
So
it called
that's what
again?
I've
What's
been
the
doing.
company?
Trap line.
Trap line.
Trap line.
Trap line beard oil. Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you have a big regret, like just a beard disaster, like that you hope there are no pictures of out there?
Not so much that. It's when I first shaved when my daughter was born, or when she was not born, but she was probably like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4, and she had never seen me with a beard. And I told them, take it to a 1. I told my barber, take that thing to a 1. And I came home and she was in tears for like 30 minutes. Like, who is this man? What did you do? Like, my nephew's the same way. Like, I think my nephew likes to be able to, like, when I take my beard down, I don't think he likes it. So like, he likes to be able to grab on even to
Absolutely.
this. So yeah, I'm stuck with a beard. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I think that's a pretty common story. I have an uncle who had a beard all his life, and the one time he shaved it off, my aunt's son, his at the time stepson, bawled his eyes out when he saw him. So I think that's pretty common when a beard guy takes it down. Kids can't handle it.
I also look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man when I shave my beard completely off, so I try not to do that. Like, it scares everyone.
That's fair. So what does your beard like mean to you? Is it style as far as like identity? Are you rebelling against something, or are you just kind of, did this just happen and you're just now?
It just kind of happened. I was coaching high school. The first time I ever really grew a beard was like 2011. I was coaching high school football. I let it go. It was even less than this, but that was the first time all I ever had was a soul patch because I got soul. And then I just, you know what I mean? I just let it go and I liked it. And I tried to just bald shave again. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do it. Doesn't mean, I think it's just part of me at this point. I wouldn't say it's a rebellion. Is the beards in Beards, Brews, and Barbecues, is it like I do a ton of beard care? Well, no. But it's more of a metaphor of just me being a dad. So at this point, it's just kind of been a transition of my life. I enjoy my salt and pepper, just like it looks like Mike does as well. I do. I like my salt and pepper, man. Even though right now I look like Bull Hurley in the camera. I don't know why. Like, I look like I have this weird Fu Manchu thing going on. I don't like it.
So have you ever had any close calls with the barbecue, getting the beard getting too close to the grill?
No, but I did get my beard stuck lifting weights. I was inclining and I had like 315 on it and I was repping it out and my beard was so long I moved my head and the bar was still on my chest and I was like, oh shit. And
that'll teach you. That'll teach you to never lift weights again, man.
Yeah,
that was the whole thing.
Not worth it.
16 to 23 ounces at a time, my friend.
This is true.
Mark, we've talked a little bit before kind of like we move on to the Philly segment. Like, you started this in 2020, 2021, and like, what are you looking to do? Like, what does Beards, Brews, and Barbecues look like in a year or 2 years? Who are you looking to help? Is this just fun? I love when you have your daughter on, you're doing these products kind of like disclaimers and reviews. So
thank you.
I love what you do. And just kind of tell us what's next or what you're thinking.
I think the fun part about this page is I have absolutely no idea what's next. It's a spur of the moment. What we do is we're a fun page. We've evolved over the time. At one point we were just beer and home barbecue. Thank you. Coltmont proud. So we went from the barbecue and the brew. We transitioned into kind of the daddy-daughter thing. It was something more to give my daughter confidence. We started, and the growth that I had, and Chris, you and I had talked about this off camera. Like, I've been very blessed and very lucky to have the growth that I've had. Is it massive? No, but it's more than a lot of people. So I've almost felt this responsibility to go out and help small businesses. That's one big thing that we pride ourselves here at Beards, Brews, and Barbecues. We're no drama. Everything's fun. You know what I mean? And it's just, we're out just living life, just showing dads that, like, hey, you could still have a life. I do all this. I have a full-time job and a career. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a gamer. You know what I mean? I play games. I still lift weights. I do a lot of things. But, like, for me, it's just kind of a day in the life in our family, and we try and help out people as we go. And that's what it's all about, man. I'm a big believer in helping out people. I'm very blessed with what I got. And if I could draw, because the small business thing, man, I've had some small businesses close near me, like one's closing in the next 2 weeks that I love. And that sucks. It sucks to see that, especially in this economy, especially with people struggling. For me, if I could help out with the following that I have, that'd be great. But we're a variety show, man. We're all over the place.
And I think that's like, what brought us kind of, as we're talking, you're like, hey, what can I do? And I was like, what can we do for you? What can you do for us? Like, it's like, and what can we do for others? So I appreciate that sentiment. It's been just awesome having you on.
Thank you.
And kind of seeing you in person as opposed to just texting. So Rob or Mike, do you have some questions and final comments, or we want to go through comments?
I just want to thank you guys seriously for bringing me on. Like, this is huge to me. Like I said, part of my mission at this point is, I would like to grow, sure, but at this point, as long as I can help out people and help out small businesses and things like that as well, I mean, that's very important to me. And I think getting some exposure through you guys was as helpful as you can imagine, seriously. And that's if people come through this area, through the Cole region area, we do have some good stuff down here, or up here, I guess, technically.
Mark, I'll say DPF is huge in that area. And so, like, our people combined, like, we have a lot of Shamokin, Cole Township, DPFers, honestly. Like, so this is just awesome. So happy to have you on.
Thank you.
I will say from our pre-conversation, all your friends that like the Mets, I would still join our page. Just have a thick skin and know that we're not really kidding when we say.
I explained it to him. I said, get ready for your good morning and fuck the Mets every day. Just get ready.
And there's nothing that they can say about us that we don't say about ourselves. Stay on for the next 45 minutes and you're going to hear it.
Exactly.
Right. They can't hurt our feelings. So they may as well just stick around and get their feelings.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. But I appreciate you being on here too.
No, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so
as
much.
a man, I think it's universal. The beer.
You know this guy?
Barbecues.
I do know Tim. Yeah. What's up, Tim? I knew the O'Donnell guy too. He's one of my coworkers.
He gave a little yeet. Jay Uso.
4 letters, 1 word.
Did we bring up Jennifer Marie?
No, thank you.
Yeah, so
thank you.
Carmel, love your page.
I appreciate it.
Getting a lot of love for your page, and then SSB. My husband was in a few beard competitions a few years back. It's a fun community, so I like this.
I have no consistency. I can't do it.
And then before we let you go, this is the type of friends we have, Mark. Chris, the fact that your wife doesn't make you wear a Jason mask either means she is a saint or glaucoma. She is, I think, at +4, which was very important to me, because obvious reasons. So
hey, they're the best friends, man. The ones that are honest with you.
Yeah, no, got to be honest with yourself. So, Mark, We're going to talk some Philly stuff. Enjoyed having you on. Let's continue the conversation and connection. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, guys. Tonight. Have a great night.
Yeah.
All right, Mark.
Appreciate it.
Fuck the Mets. All right.
That's right.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. We're going to talk some Phillies talk now. So I want to start it off, and I don't want to mix words. Dombrowski's a failure. Can you name one free agent signing, one middle of the season signing or trade that has been successful? Luzardo, maybe.
Luzardo?
Give him another half of season.
The best.
Every other
Ranger had a good first half last year too, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And like, this guy's been here since 21, right? Like, we were already pretty good at that point. It was 82 and 80. Did he do anything different? Well, no, not terribly different. I don't know. And I don't know what the fuck Sam Fold's doing, but I haven't seen this dude. I think he just opens.
He's at Villanova, dude. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
And his MBA.
And he's opening the water bottles for Dave. And it's unfucking believable that Sam Fold can't fucking multitask. Like, we all have regular jobs. We're doing DPF shit. We're being fathers. This dude's like, oh, I got to focus on Villanova. Get the fuck out of here. Just chat GPT it, dude. You know,
Fucking right.
Is this acceptable? Jojo Romero for Edmundo Sosa?
uh,
I mean, yeah, it's a good deal.
But he doesn't play every day, and
But
he
he's a
can't hit
backup.
righties.
JoJo wasn't any good.
No.
yeah, I mean,
I got to put this on. I got to put this one on really quick. Dom, this is the second time he posted this. He's really mad about not having AC for 6 days. And maybe Martian Stott will come over and dump a cooler ice water on him. There we go. We're good.
That's possible.
Did you guys see the other night? It was after the game. They were interviewing Bohm. And somebody threw something or did something. I think it was Stott. Either threw ice chips at him or something. He did something. And Bohm turned around and fucking looked at him and mumbled under his breath, "Oh, we're fucking doing this again." Something along those lines. So just for that, I want them to start dumping water on his head again. Like, go back to the fucking daycare bullshit.
Yeah, so I'll talk about this a little bit later, and I don't want to get deep into it now, but like, is Dombrowski successful, or does he pick his new jobs really smartly?
So it's a great question. I mean, think about the times he entered the situations that he was successful in. So, yeah, it's a great question. It'll be interesting to see what, and I don't know why we constantly decide to wait, till the deadline. Well, we have 21 days left now, right? I don't understand why we have to wait until the 30th or the 29th or the 31st. Like, why can't we get something done now? Because literally every game counts. And, we've been screaming about this, it's too early, or it's early in the season, people, or we've only gone halfway now, people.
Yeah.
And it matters in the end. And it matters to solidify, first of all, your standing, but also the chemistry of the team.
Right.
I get it, man. You have like 70 something games left in the second half, but why not have made this trade already if we're going to, go after somebody like Clase or Durbin?
And I don't want Dombrowski to make these choices. And I want to give you some numbers, because I really think that things that I'm going to say right now, you're going to be surprised. Dave Dombrowski led teams in his entire career are under 500. He has an under 500 record as a GM. That's point one. It's black and white. So the next thing I want to say is he has 12 playoff appearances. Well, how many games is that? Well, he's won 2,600 games. You can kind of extrapolate that out. So he's won the World Series twice. He's not a successful GM. I don't think any successful GM is under 500.
Right.
And there cannot be disagreement about this. He's glorified for some reason that I don't understand.
He's a coattail riding motherfucker.
Yes.
He comes in when the team's already built, and maybe he makes a tweak or two, and then he cashes in after.
When you were in high school and there was like that one girl that would like go from dude to dude, or the dude would go to that girl, you'd call her a dick hopper, right?
Right.
He's this hopper of like, man, I got to get the fuck out of here because I burned a bridge and I'm going to go get more money or get something somewhere else. Because like he left Boston in fucking tatters. They won a series, but they have not been the same since that 2018 year. They're a disaster. Right. Boston is a disaster.
And if that's what we have to look forward to, like Mike was saying, like make the deals. The longer you wait, the higher the price gets. And then on top of that, like we know he's leaving. If they win a World Series, he's going to be gone in the next year or two after that. And plus, I guess we already know that anyway, with Sam Fuld going to fucking Villanova and Preston Mattingly doing whatever he's doing. Like we already know that his time here is numbered.
Sure.
So just go all in. What's the fucking big deal? It drives me nuts.
Middleton has been more than clear. Like, here's the open checkbook. Right. He hasn't spent it wisely. that video, I sent a video to a couple of people today, like, and I agree that guy probably read the open letter from Drunk Phil's fans, but like that guy was right. He's not spent the money wisely. And so, he could write that ship right now if he wanted to and get 2 bullpen arms. I don't even want a bat anymore. Just get 2 bullpen arms in the back of the bullpen. We'll win games 1-0, 2-1. I don't care. But every once in a while we'll score 13 like we did yesterday. So.
Exactly.
So
Are you reading comments?
No, I was like, I was kind of like done with the Dombrowski thing.
All right. I got it. So I was looking at some stats on Wheeler. And there's a couple of people that have had this same kind of take, I guess you'll call it, is Wheeler the best free agent? I narrowed it down to pitcher that the Phillies have ever had. So let me just throw a few names out there. You're going to probably drive here and punch me for the first one, but Jonathan Papelbon, Jose Mesa, Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, and Zach Wheeler. So those are some of the big name over the years free agent pitchers that we've signed. I'll give you some stats for Wheeler, right? So games started for the Phillies from 2020 to 25 is 138. The guy's 40 games over 500. He's 72-32. His overall ERA in that time frame is under 3. It's 2.95. He's got 936 in the third innings pitched, 1,035 strikeouts. His WHIP is 1.017. And his ERA plus is 147. All these stats place him in top pitchers during in all of baseball during that time frame. And so it's not a huge leap to say that Wheeler is the top free agent pitcher pickup that the Phillies have ever had. And so I just haven't, Chris, too, haven't been a pitcher. I love watching this guy pitch. He's aggressive. As he ages, he takes care of his body. He threw a pitch 99 miles an hour. That was his 96th pitch the other day in the 7th or 8th inning, whatever it was. He wants to win. He's a competitor. And I think going and kind of just bringing it full circle with your topic a minute ago, we're squandering the best part of this guy's career by not getting some bullpen help and or an extra bat. Again, I'm leaning more towards bullpen help at this point.
Mike, all of your stuff's spot on. The other part that we like, and I think this is really important, if we got him from the Angels, we'd be like, he's still really good. We fucked the Mets on this one, man. We fucked the Mets and got the motherfucking Mets.
It's a good angle that, I didn't really think about that until you just started to say it. But yeah, man, like when you can take from a competitor in your division and really shove it up their ass, that's just an extra component.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and he's a better Philly than he ever was a Met.
Oh, 100%.
He's taken off since he's been here.
He hated it there. Who doesn't?
Right,
so
exactly.
This is a really good point that Sig made. He was a trade, but he signed the extension at the same time, and so he's considered a free agent because he signed an extension. At least that's what I read in my research.
Okay.
Because I thought is that the Kyle Drabek trade that we got?
I believe it was.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe it was. He was the prized. He was the guy nobody wanted to give up.
What a guy!
Yeah, he's the Andrew Painter.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where. Like he might be painting houses at this point. So real quick, guys, I just wanted to talk about, like, the other day, my reaction was the fucking umpires. After that, the first game out in San Fran, Yeah, everybody saw it. Everybody saw what Phil Cuzzy did, and the reaction on the page. Like, not everybody stayed up to see that, but everybody has since seen the highlights. And Phil Cuzzy just had a terrible night that night, but it seems that umpires are allowed to have these terrible nights with no kind of fucking repercussion, no kind of consequence. And it's gotten to the point where people are screaming for this robo-ump thing. And I don't understand. Like, people are like, oh, do we want the human element? We want some human error in the game because that's part of the game. We're purists. We're not going to use computers and robots to do the job. And then there are other people who think, you know what, get the fucking call right. So there's shit going on in the minors, and there's shit going on in spring training where they're using this, the helmet tap that got fucking, people ejected earlier in the season.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I love the fact that you can do that and get kicked out of a game, because that's just telling the umpire you fucking suck without having to say the words, right?
Right.
But as I was doing all this, there are two things that really stood out to me when I was going through this topic. First thing, the Phillies kept looking over to the bench. When JT was behind the plate that inning, when Kirkring got fucking completely hosed, JT looked over a couple times after those pitches. And when Bryce was up and they were calling, he was
turned.
There, yeah, right. It was blatant. Like, he was turning straight around and looking into the dugout. And we all know what they're looking for.
Topper to come out.
He's not turning around going, you believe this shit. He's turning around going, yo, fucking Topper, where the fuck are you? I saw Cotham do a little bit of yelling when Kirkring was on the fucking mound. Other than that, nothing.
Well, Rob, I don't want to let GT off the hook here. JT should have fucking said something.
He needs to stand up.
But he's too much of a little bitch. JT's like, hey, I got a nice smile on this chain and I'm not the bad guy. No, you fucking snap out after the fourth fucking strike.
Right. How do you not stand up and get in the fucking umpire's face?
Yeah.
Like, if Topper, we all know that Topper's not going to do it. Maybe JT needs to do it and get tossed.
Exactly.
Somebody.
You know what I mean? But somebody has to fucking do something.
Couple things, Butcher.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Number one, did you see the scorecard for that guy?
Oh, yeah.
So
absolutely.
the scorecard was a 91.
Yeah.
Acceptable score is a 98. So he is 7 points off of an acceptable score.
Right.
And he was plus 1.2 runs for San Francisco. Let's just call a spade a spade. He had San Fran in that game. They're
investigating that one pitcher who threw like two balls at the beginning of an inning.
2 balls. This guy
investigate this dude.
7% error.
One of his cousins
actually
made some money.
9%, but 7% that's acceptable, right?
Yeah. Somebody close to him made some money that night.
Exactly.
And I hate to be the person, like, look, we're tough fans. We don't like to blame the fucking the umpires every time we fucking lose. But when it's that obvious, something has to be done. But more importantly, Topper needs to fucking do something. 100%. And we've been screaming this all fucking year.
One more. So, reliever for Boston. Can't remember his name. He used to be on the Yankees, I think. Throws a ball. He's on the mound still, but he's arguing with the umpire. Umpire takes his mask off, comes out in front of home plate, starts screaming, "Get back on the mound!" The dude is on the mound. He totally incited him to come off and yell at him so he could throw him out.
Right,
dude. That's why people want the robot, because of guys like that and guys like Cuzzy.
Ego.
One guy.
Well, that's just it. There should be no ego when you're an umpire.
No. Why? Why do you get fired up? You're not supposed to affect the game.
There's a reason they're not getting $300 million contracts.
Exactly.
Yep. So guys, I want to kind of talk about my open letter. And specifically, I want to talk about rah-rah, happy clapper fans. I wrote this letter, and it gets tons of like interest because I thought it was well written. I thought it was smart. I thought it was all of these things that like it was
Well
passionate
documented.
though. Yeah, like I'm giving like here's why I say it and here's the proof.
Right.
So it's funny because when it gets all of these, there's this, and it's a small. I looked at it, it was 0.1% of fans. That are not like us. And I think that's okay. I said earlier, you want to drink Miller Lite? Drink Miller Lite. You want to drink only craft? Drink only craft. We don't give a shit. But I personally have a problem with people that are fans that are blind fans. So, and that's where I'm kind of going to the happy clapper and all of this. So I thought about this and I was going to like bring up their actual names. So the crux of the letter was I sent it to John Middleton. I said that he needs to step in at some point because I think Dombrowski's not the guy. He's not making those moves. He's had 4.5 years to make these changes. He's not doing it. I'm not seeing it from the manager. I'm not seeing it from the at least hitting coach. The pitching coach, Caleb's like, to me, he's okay. I have no real issue with him. He was the only one I saw yelling the other day, by the way, Butch, at the umpire, protecting his, pitchers. And it's just so crazy to me, like fucking mind-boggling. And I'm going to read what some of these people wrote. I'm not going to say their names, but I do want to kind of like say a couple of these people. It's funny because they don't realize, like, Rob, you and I went to high school together. Mike, we went to, college together. We have a PhD in breaking balls.
Right.
Like, there's nothing you can say to us that we haven't said to each other's faces that is fucking terrible. I mean, look at Boyce's comments. That's normal shit for us. It's not, we're not like, oh, Boyce doesn't like me. Like, we have a PhD in breaking balls. We kind of like hold these things back, but like, listen, I went and looked at some of your names and it bothers some of the other admins more than it bothers me, but I like, enough's enough with this. So like one of these guys, like, listen, man, if you want to say what you want to say it. But man, you got to back it up with some facts. And I did. I saw this one guy, I don't know if it was his wife or his dog, but she was like 60 and she's still wearing Forever 21. Not okay. We're not doing it. You know what? I definitely sometimes have that mad reputation, right? Like I'm mad. They win and I'm mad. And that's fine. Listen, my wife has to deal with that. So I get it. I understand it. And she tells me like, she's not a happy clapper, but she's just like, listen, there's always tomorrow. And, you need that perspective. And I appreciate when people say that. Here's like some of the things that were said, and this just like boggles my fucking mind. And guys, I really want you to lean into this. And like, does it bother you, or is it just like, after I did this, JM said, imagine complaining about a first place team going into the All-Star break.
Saw that right away. Are you fucking kidding me?
Fucking happy about this fucking team? They're only in first place because the Mets are terrible, the Braves are horrendous, the Marlins are fucking deplorable, and the Nationals don't matter.
Right. And to say that we're complaining, yes, we are. We are complaining about a first.
Do you know why we're complaining? This is why we're complaining. Because when we get to the playoffs, we are like the seventh ranked team in all those, because even though we won the National League East, to Chris's point, everybody else sucked. So, you have to deal with teams that are actually winners.
Guys, this is why we're fucking mad. Because we know the fucking sport. We understand the game and we know what we're looking at. So when we watch a game and we see the stupid fucking mistakes over and over and over again, we're fucking pissed off. When you see the fucking bullpen, the same fucking guys coming out there, yeah, we're mad. When Topper puts fucking Romano out there for a 5-out save, I don't give a fuck how many pitches he threw. He sat on the bench for how long? How many runs did the Phillies score in that 8th inning? Was it 7? Was it 7 runs? And then they brought him back out. Wasn't that the game? No, that was the other game. I'm sorry.
No, it's the other game.
See that? I know the game. But what I'm saying is we understand what the fuck the mistakes are. And we know that they can be corrected.
So here's the next one, guys. AK, and this one is my fucking favorite. This is so idiotic. Fucking idiotic. And it's the mentality that I just can't stand. I am guessing the person who wrote this never lived through the bad years of Philly baseball.
What?
Dope. And it goes on. It gets worse. Here's the fucking sentence that just fucking boils my blood, boys. And you're going to hear it and you're going to be like, I cannot fucking believe that people actually believe or like this. We are competitive. We are in a good position to make the postseason. What the fuck do you want to do? Is that your fucking goal?
That's your ball.
That's not mine.
We're the Royals.
That's not been ours from jump.
Right.
World Series ring or bust, bro.
Right. We're a mid-market team who only cares about competing. It was, hey, listen, we lost. Chris, you and I went to a game last week. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
They may have lost, but man, did we have fun.
Yeah. No, we did.
Man. Oh, it was such a
that was
time.
a fucking blast. I told you, I says, this is the worst day of my life.
God damn it, Chris. You're making me drink again.
Did I not, Rob?
Yes, you did. And I agree because.
Was I in a good mood? Were you?
No, not at all.
No.
And then I had to sit in traffic for like fucking 2 hours getting home, stewing and listening to the radio talk about that fucking game. So it's not all fun and games. Winning matters.
Yeah, so I want to say to AK, if we win, we win. If not, we tried our best. We got there.
Get them next time.
Yeah, there's always next year.
Get them next time.
Unfucking believable.
Well, I'll tell you what, AK. You failed on this comment. Try again.
Is he the same, or she? I don't know. The same one that said you didn't live through the shitty years? Because I don't know if they remember. Like, we were good. Then we were really fucking shitty in the 80s. And then we were okay in the beginning of the 90s. We lost the World Series. Fuck Joe Carter. And then we sucked for a long, long time. And then we were pretty good in the middle of the 2000s. And then we sucked for a long. Dude, like, seriously?
Tom Bernowski has a terrible winning percentage, but ours is worse. Our 50 years is worse.
Hey, first to 10,000 losses, baby.
On the shirt, when you saw this earlier, you said 2010, right?
Yes.
Page started in 2010. It's 2025. We don't have 15 World Series since then.
Yeah. How many do we have since then?
If my math is correct, we have 0.
Yeah, it's crazy. Then the last one before, I move on because this could get ugly. And, I do appreciate people being Phillies fans. I think it's important to be positive. I think it's stupid to be blindly positive and blind faith in this team.
Yeah, don't run away just because we yelled at you.
Yeah, that's it.
Come back.
So, BW, some fans are stupid as hell. This team is in first place and they have a good lineup. Right there, I'm out.
They have a good lineup.
And good starting pitching. Agreed.
I get that.
But I don't agree because I feel like that should be great. But maybe they're talking about the 4 and 5 guys. I'll allow this, but I think it's great. Someone needs another beer. I need another beer whether they win or lose.
I haven't had one in 19 years. Of course I need another beer. This goes without. We are the drunk Phils fans. That goes without saying.
Yeah.
I appreciate the engagement, guys.
I really do. I think it's important to understand that there's all types of different fans, and we're happy to have them on the page and engage with them. But there's a certain point to where, like, there was some of these that are like, you're an idiot. We're not going to allow that. We're just not going to allow it. I'm not going to let you call someone else an idiot, and I'm not going to call you an idiot. I am going to say I disagree with you, and I don't fucking understand the mentality, but that's what we just did.
Appreciate this, Jennifer, for sure. I like this one here. Phils are consistently inconsistent.
Polish people always make really great sense. So, Steve, I appreciate
go.
that.
Dude, I'm stoked for this next session. I'm just saying.
So,
Next segment.
yeah, we're going to go into something we haven't done before, and I'm going to bring it up on the screen, but it's going to be small for you. But what isn't small on us, right? Except for our bellies and our
alcohol
appetites.
tolerance.
Yeah. So we decided to do like a best baseball movie ever. So each of us are going to go around and kind of like talk about which one is our favorite baseball movie into a champion. So it's just NCAA. It's not fucking a huge one. I was like, I'm only going to take the important ones. I'm not doing fucking bingo long. Bingo Long's not winning the fucking thing, right? You know what I mean? Like, we got the Field of Dreams, the Natural, Major League, League of Their Own, like all the fucking big boys. 12 of them dumbed down or numbed down to that. So let me see if I can bring this up in some smart way, because I honestly don't know if I could do it, guys, but we're going to. And if not, I will be in a situation here where we can at least talk about it, because I sent this out to everyone, so it's uploading. It's going to come up in a moment.
There you go. You got it.
So how about this? Like, we're able to do that. So I'll go first, since I'm kind of like talking, and I'm going to start from the left-hand sides. I don't even know if I can see this. Is this big enough for everyone to see? Because I don't fucking remember.
Probably not. You might have to.
How can people zoom
out like
this?
me? I'll talk them out. You ready?
Yeah, I'm like having trouble. So like
Chris, you muted or something.
Oh, yeah, I touched the button. So I'll go first, but I've gotten a little closer. I'm trying not to squint. But it's Bull Durham versus For the Love of the Game. I'm going Bull Durham on this one. For the next one, it's going to be something in 61. What is that one? Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Yep.
I'll go 61 on this one. I should have printed this out, because this is 8 Men Out and 42. I'm going 8 Men Out. On the next one, The Natural and whatever's against it. The Natural, but it's Bad News Bears. So I'm just going to go through this one side. So I'm going to have now Bull Durham versus 61. Bull Durham goes on to the semifinals. The next one, I'm having 8 Men Out versus The Natural. The Natural goes on. Bull Durham versus The Natural, so difficult to me.
Huge.
These are like, I really went back and forth, but I went with nostalgia. I went with the 1984 film, and I'm going to go to The Natural, going to, the finals here. On the other side, so starting off the other one, A League of Their Own and Cobb. So Cobb is so full of shit. It's completely wrong. It's got ridiculous stuff in it, and League of Their Own is a classic. I'm going with Cobb. I just love the movie. I like how they portrayed Cobb as like an Uncle Badload villain in this. It was fucking awesome. League of Their Own was awesome too, but I'm going with Cobb for those reasons.
Nice setup.
The next one is like Field of Dreams, and what's the one below that, guys?
Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah, so like Angels in the Outfield is good, but like Field of Dreams, like the dad's having a catch. Come on. Like, we all have dads, right? So like Field of Dreams moves on there. Moneyball, and the next one is The Rookie. The Rookie's a great story, because like we think like, oh man, I could still do it. Like, I'm 35, I'm throwing 75. There's some team that wants a right-hander that can throw 75 at it's not true, but that a beautiful story. I'm going with Moneyball, because it was just it just was a better baseball story, all in all, in depth, behind the scenes of how analytics are working, so I could understand how to hate that more. And then the last two, Major League and The Sandlot. This is another one, a first rounder. Like
you're an asshole for putting these
big time. I even said it in the chat. Man.
This is terrible. This is like very difficult stuff. This isn't like one of those 64, and you're like, okay, Major League isn't going to face Sandlot until the 5th round. Right. I don't know where to go with this, but I know that I had more enjoyment watching Major League and there are more things that I say that are from Major League.
Fuck you, Joe
You
Boo.
know, yeah, the Joe Boo stuff, and thinking of Ricky Vaughn, and then
You
then
may
he went on
run
to
like
do
Maze, but you hit like shit.
yeah, Tiger Blood
Rojas.
eventually, like he's
Rojas.
the same guy. Yeah, it's all of those things. So now we're going to go Cobb versus Field of Dreams. Cobb had its time. Field of Dreams moves on here for me. And then the next one we're going to kind of talk about is Moneyball and Major League. It's Major League moves on. So we're going to have Major League versus what did I say? The
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. So it's like, my God, it's Field of Dreams versus The Natural in the final for me. And I'm going nostalgia, even though, sorry, Dad, I love the catches with you. But The Natural, like, I loved watching that movie. It was probably the first baseball movie I saw in a theater. And, Robert Redford's kind of dreamy, guys. So I'm going with The Natural.
I called your pick the minute you emailed it this morning.
Yeah. Hopefully we have different ones. If not, I'm curious to hear all of yours.
Go ahead, Rob.
Go ahead, Mike. Oh, you want me to? All right, I'll go. All right, so I'll start on the same side of the bracket, the left side, Bull Durham and For Love of the Game. Now, all right, I'll just go ahead and say my picks, and then I'll do a little explaining.
Yeah.
All right, so I got Bull Durham over For Love of the Game. In the second side, Pride of the Yankees or 61, I had Pride of the Yankees. For 8 Men Out and 42, I went with 42. And for The Natural and the Bad News Bears, I took the upset and I went with the Bad News Bears.
Fuck you, Butcher.
I love all of our brackets are different. I love it.
And the reason that I went with the Bad News Bears, and I'll explain it here, is because the original Bad News Bears, Walter Matthau was one of the greatest characters in a baseball movie ever. He was so Buttermaker was fucking awesome. And as Drunk Phil's fans, we should be able to appreciate that. Plus, it was just the shit. When we were kids, and see, Chris went nostalgia with The Natural. I'm going nostalgia with the Bad News Bears because I knew I wasn't going to play pro ball. I knew I was a fuck up. You know what I mean? So anyway, on the other side, we're going to go League of Their Own versus Cobb. I went with League of Their Own. And then the next one down, we got Field of Dreams and Angels in the outfield. I went with Field of Dreams. And then further down, Moneyball and the Rookie. Again, this was one of those, you love the Rookie. It's a great story. But Moneyball, for all the reasons Chris had said, it was like the introduction to analytics. It was David versus Goliath. It was how the little guy was going to figure out a way using math and numbers and things like that to beat the big baddies. And I just thought Moneyball was a good movie. And then The Sandlot against Major League, again, I went Little Rob versus a little bit older. Major League was popular when we were in high school, and we had a little troll doll riding the bus to our Roman games, talking about Joe Boo and Johnny Guerrera, fucking fuck you, Joe Boo, I do it myself. So I went with The Sandlot because the fucking Sandlot, like there was Squints was the fucking man. Like there was so much in that movie that's just classic. All right,
Rest in peace, Johnny G.
How about it? Really? Oh, yeah. All right, so we had Bull Durham, Pride of the Yankees. I went Bull Durham, right? Did I already say that?
Mm-hmm.
No, not yet.
42 against Bad News Bears. I went Bad News Bears. League of Their Own, Field of Dreams. I went League of Their Own. And then Moneyball, Sandlot. I went Sandlot. In the semis, Bull Durham, Bad News Bears. I got Bull Durham. And League of Their Own, Sandlot. I got League of Their Own. And the winner, women played baseball, guys. But I picked Bull Durham. So Bull Durham won my bracket. And it's a better baseball movie. You know, it's like the minor leaguers. This is what they do to grind it out, and everybody wants to get to the show, and fucking teaching Meat how to get to the majors and be a big leaguer. It was just a fucking funny, good movie.
And you know what, Rob? Harper doesn't run out. Harper doesn't run out to first base. What does that make him? A lollygagger. A lollygagger.
There it is. See, I'm not. It's been a while since I've seen any of these movies.
Why is he calling me Meat? I'm the one driving a Porsche.
That's what I remember.
You don't need a quadraphonic Blaupunk. What you need is a curveball.
And League of Their Own was entertaining. Tom Hanks was great in that movie, and there isn't a fucking day that goes by that someone isn't saying there's no crying in baseball. Yeah. That quote alone. All right, so
this is what I love. We all have different shit. So
real quick though, guys. This is the part that I said I had to make a confession here. Even though I'm a baseball guy, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies on this list that I have never seen.
All right, so Butcher, we'll see you later.
And here's why. Real quick, here's why. Because I don't fucking like the Yankees. I don't give a flying fuck about the Yankees. I really don't. I don't give a fuck about the White Sox. I don't care about the Black Sox. And every one of these movies, like you said, Chris, they're all bullshit. For Love of the Game is the only one that was actually like filmed with ball players and all that other shit. 42, I want to see it. I haven't seen it. Jackie Robinson changed the game. Like there's no denying the effect. But I'm so sick of movies, especially like sports movies, historical movies, who take so many liberties. Like that shit isn't real, and people watch these movies and think that they're watching history. So those are the movies that I just stay away from. I'd rather watch something and be entertained, or I'll watch fucking Ken Burns. You know,
Rob, I love when you're getting angry. I feel like Palpatine and you're Vader, or like, was it Luke? And we're like, yes, let the anger overtake you.
No, Emperor may be the top shit talker in any movie ever.
Yeah. Mike, where are you at?
All right. Between Bull Durham and For the Love of the Game, I got Bull Durham. Pride of the Yankees in 61, I got Pride of the Yankees. 8 Men Out in 42, I got 8 Men Out, mostly because our center fielder, Chris's center fielder too in college, loved Shoeless Joe Jackson. We called him Shoes. We still call him Shoes. Yep. The Natural and Bad News Bears, I got The Natural. Between Bull Durham and Pride of the Yankees is an easy Bull Durham pick. Between 8 Men Out and The Natural was a discussion with myself. I pulled The Natural out, and Bull Durham and Natural to go to the finals. Bull Durham beats out The Natural for me. Nice. On the right-hand side, A League of Their Own and Cobb. A League of Their Own wins by a landslide. Field of Dreams and Angels in the Outfield. Angels in the Outfield was hokey, just my opinion. Field of Dreams wins that one for sure. Moneyball and The Rookie. I can't believe somebody picked Moneyball. Maybe both of you did, because it was analytics and the freaking demise of our wonderful game. I picked The Rookie. The Sandlot and Major League. I think Rob and I had the same freaking reaction. Like, how do you make us pick that in the first round?
For real.
I went with Major League for a lot of the reasons that you guys said, like still quote that to this day. Between A League of Their Own and Field of Dreams, I went Field of Dreams. Between The Rookie and Major League, I went to The Rookie. And so that meant Bull Durham and The Rookie went to the finals for me. And The Rookie wins it, and I'll tell you why. Because when we first saw that, Carrie and I, that movie ended, and she goes, get your elbow fixed and go fucking pitch in the Major League so I don't have to work anymore. So that's why I picked The Rookie.
And become left-handed.
Right. Do everything.
Very, very cool. I think we should do something like this.
Great idea.
For sure. Love it.
And I like getting angry early in the day about like how I have to fucking pick between two great movies. Real quick though, guys, do you guys have any honorable mentions that weren't on the list? Because I have one that I really like, and then I have, well, I don't really like it, but I liked it, and then one that I just heard about before, but I've never seen Hardball, but I was told that that's a good movie to watch with Keanu Reeves.
Don't know that one.
No idea.
Now we have some homework. And then the other one was Rookie of the Year, when that little shit fucks his elbow up and all of a sudden he's throwing gas. It was a cheesy dumb movie,
terrible.
but it was.
I feel like that was like Home Alone of like baseball.
It's
movies.
very bad. Yes,
Exactly.
that was terrible.
Exactly. I was like 13 when I saw that.
Yeah.
Hey.
The one when I was doing this, the one thing I will say is like I knew I was making difficult ones, but I did put two Yankees movies together so that we didn't have to call you a Yankees loving cocksucker by picking Yankees twice. So like you just pick one, and then I knew the Yankees were gone, right? You know, like
Perfect.
61 and pride of they're not going through.
Exactly. Hey, I know we're going long. Let me do trivia because it's all-star trivia, and then we can do whatever we want. Does that sound good?
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, and everybody out there in the audience. I've got a couple of questions. So, what Philly has the most all-star nods all time, and how many?
Mike Schmidt, 18.
Mike Schmidt is correct. 18 is a little heavy.
15?
Still heavy.
Wow.
Shit. 12.
12 is correct.
Okay.
Who's second? Now, caveat, this is a person, these are players who mostly played for the Phillies, because I'll tell you why in a minute. Go ahead.
Oh, well, then this was an A. Was he also an A?
You're talking about Jim Thome?
No.
Huh. So someone had less than 12?
Less than 12. Second place, Philly all time.
Oh, but he had a bunch with Philly and then a couple with somebody else.
No, all with Philly.
All with Philly.
Oh. Carlton?
How many?
So you got to figure 72 was one of them. 80 had to be one of them. So I would say it's probably 10.
10's correct.
That's
Now,
not bad.
Interesting fact. A lot of people associate Pete Rose with the Phillies, but he wasn't most of his career with the Phillies.
Yeah.
He had 17 nods. So I put Schmidt in front of him for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Right, as a Philly.
Any idea who has the most all-star nods all time?
Willie Mays.
Negative. He's second.
Really? Well, maybe Clayton Kershaw, since they're fucking putting him in now and he doesn't deserve it. I know he's not right.
Yeah, my other guess would be like Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron is correct. 21.
21.
Willie Mays, 20.
Wow.
Damn.
So I just thought those were cool.
Yeah, their whole career.
That's just playing a really long time at a fucking super high level.
100%.
And maybe the last 8 years not deserving it, but still being a name everyone knows, and you punch those cards.
Quite possible.
Possibly.
More than likely. More than likely.
That's also, a possibility.
Yeah.
Mike, did you have more?
That's it.
Okay.
For trivia.
Guys, I just want to end up because we're super long today. Like, there's been this talk about Clase. There's been talk about Stephen Kwan. There's been talk about Joan Duran. There's been talk about, Jax Griffin.
There's been a lot of talk.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with both of those. I look at one important thing for relievers, or really back end relievers, and both of these guys fail miserably. Innings pitch versus strikeouts.
Yep.
They're not good. It's 1-to-1. It's decent. So yeah, do I want them? Are they better than who we have? Is Clase and Griffin, Jax, or Duran better than anyone that we have? By far. It's not even close. They are twice as good as any person. So yeah, I'd absolutely want them. And will they put us over Yeah, but I want both. I want two. I want someone. Griffin Jacks, I'm out on. This is not someone I want. And the other thing that worries me about these guys, and Stephen Kwan, I like it, but again, guys, tell me if I'm wrong. He's a left-hander. He's a left fielder. He's not a home run hitter.
Right.
I think he could be a leadoff guy, and that moves Trey to second, moves Harper to third, all of these things. Down the line. Schwarber's fourth like we wanted forever, and those things can happen. But I don't think the AL Central and Class A shit the motherfucking bed in the playoffs. Like, he was horrendous. Is the Central, is there really, do they know what pressure is? Do they know it? So, stop looking at the Central. AL or NL, Bednar has not been in a fucking pressure game in 20 years.
I agree with that. Yeah,
So, that's just kind of my opinion on this. And Buxton, I don't know. This dude's hurt again, or he fucking got hit on the hand. I don't want Byron Buxton.
I just heard Mason Miller's name again today.
And Rob, I looked at this. Mason Miller has 16 fucking walks.
Right.
So does Romano.
Right.
And Mason Miller's a 4.5 or 4.41 ERA. I'm not.
We don't need another guy that does that.
I can't do it. The
only thing that sets him apart is he throws 101 miles an hour. And does he, with some guidance from Caleb Cotham, come out of the funk that he's in this year? Because last year he was a stud. I don't know the answer to that.
So
I don't know the answer to that.
If you ask me what two wish list guys, and there's no one untouchable. If you're saying Painter's untouchable, you're not. I watched every one of his games. So before this podcast, I went on and I watched, because you have MLB, you can watch. He is horrendous. He has two pitches, a ball and a strike. And the strike is the straightest motherfucking pitch. So I am out on this dude. Okay. You trade him now. His value is never going to be higher than right now. Every time he pitches. Yeah.
You prospects or suspect. Guys.
Yeah.
Prospects or suspect. Get somebody that's proven.
Yeah, sell high. You can't hold on to them forever. Just win now. Win fucking now.
Mm-hmm. So is there anybody that you want? Is there anybody that I said you're like, Chris, you're wrong? I do want those two dudes. Is there anyone who's untouchable in your eyes?
Nobody's untouchable. I think you mentioned the ones that are hot right now. Who's the center fielder from the Red Sox?
Duran.
Yeah, Duran. I haven't heard him lately, and I'm also on the fence whether I care about a bat at this point. I'd really like 2 or 3 bullpen guys. You know what I mean? I think I said it earlier. I'll win 1-0 or 2-1, and every once in a while score 13 runs. But we've seen the bullpen fall apart a lot lately, and I think it needs to be addressed. Stat.
If they do the Quan and Clase thing, you have to DFA Kepler, because Quan plays left field. He's not a center fielder. So what's the fucking purpose of having this dude? And you just eat the money. But it's, again, Dombrowski, this dude will not admit he's wrong. And it just with Murrayfield, it's the same situation. This dude's Mendoza line 200. Kepler is horrendous. He's bad at baseball. He will no longer be good at baseball.
No, he was never really good to begin with. He was serviceable. And then to bring him in here and think that's who's going to be our everyday left fielder, I think that was a fucking pipe dream. And I think it's because he waited too long. Like Dombrowski waited too long in free agency to do anything.
And to
Frank just proved our point.
Yeah. Abel, again.
Trade him.
Yep. It's never as valuable as he is right now, because Abel's value went down. Now it's valuable again. And the other thing, I'm pissed off about Max Kepler, because Max Kepler is a Pole. He's Polish, like Jennifer, like Sig, like Paul that's going to be on here.
You don't know this, Chris, I don't think. But my dad's side of the family has Skladinowski in it. So I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
I'm a quarter Polish.
Oh, well, that makes sense. That makes sense why we get along. And
Like hot
I'm,
dogs and stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
0% Polish. So
really, Rob, I would not expect that.
Kick him out again.
You're as blockheaded as all of us.
Right, exactly.
Well,
Um,
he's from East Falls, though, so it's all good.
that is true.
It's essentially the same thing.
Before we leave, I want to kind of shout out Boise got a FTM in at 7:00. He was the first.
Nice. Good job, Lucy.
Steve
Well done.
very soon got an FTM and F the Phillies record in San Fran. Bud got an FTM in. And then
Bud.
Steve is driving to a brewery.
Of course he is.
Yeah, he says the shore, but it's like the shore, and it's Diane is actually commenting. So
Oh, wait
thanks
a
for
minute.
keeping
Wait
us
a minute.
company.
The butcher is Polish by marriage, so it's all good.
Oh, come on, Butcher! You didn't mention this.
I tend to forget things.
That's
Great. Now
that's
I'm-
Polish.
Now I'm sleeping in the basement. Great.
So, guys, when do you think the trade happens? And this will be our sign off. Is like, when do you expect this? What date? We're at whatever fucking date today is, and
Today's
the
the 10th.
31st. Okay, so when do you think it happens? Because it's
Deadline.
happening.
It'll probably
31?
Be a deadline. It'll probably be a deadline deal, the 30th or the 31st. It'll be like at one of those, wait. He'll be holding, hold.
Okay.
Thanks for telling us that, Frank. We appreciate you.
Fuck the
Right.
Mets twice today.
Love
Excellent.
the Mets twice. Love that. I'll go. I'm going to say, oh, shit. Hold on a second. Let me pull up a calendar here. July 31st is a Thursday. They are in July 31st. They are off. They are away against the White Sox and the Yankees before that for 6 days. I'm going to go 7/29.
Okay.
I'll go 7:25, and if it's Luis Robert, do not fucking listen to the next podcast because I will lose my motherfucking mind
He's
in a way that I've
contact,
never
right?
lost before. Yeah,
He makes contact.
unbelievable, just unfucking believable.
That'll be a very Phillies move.
Oh, it would be the most Phillies move ever. People, thank you for joining in. Follow Beards, Brews, and Barbecues. Mark was
Definitely.
awesome. Such
Great
a nice guy. Great content. Friend of ours. He's in Shamokin. So I love his kind of concept, and our talk was awesome. So follow Beards, Brews, and Barbecues. Fuck the Mets, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Go get your colonoscopies, everybody.
Seriously.
Yep.